today live. I have the one and only Paige. I also have his dad Lincoln in
Yeah,
the building. Hopefully, we can get him the mic up today. And the one and only legendary John David Jackson. How you guys doing today?
Doing
I'm
good. Doing
good.
good.
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah.
Wonderful, wonderful. So we're gonna start with you, John. Tell me what got you interested in boxing?
Well, actually, it was like 1970. I'm going way back. And a friend of mine and I were walking to this recreation center called the Marshall White Center in Ogden, Utah. We're
Mhm.
going there to play basketball. But in order to play basketball, you had to go to the boxing gym. So we walked to the boxing gym. And he said, "Hey, man, let's try this." So I said, "Yeah, let's do it." So he gets in the ring with somebody else and beats the crap out of him. In return, I get in the ring with this other guy named Paul, and he beats the crap out of me. So I run home with a bloody nose, and I tell my dad, I'm all excited. I was boxing. I was boxing. So my father walked me back down to the Marshall White Center and told the coach he can't box again in the ring for 6 months until you teach him how to box properly.
Okay.
So it took me 6 weeks to learn it, and then I entered the Golden Gloves tournament, and the first person I fought was a kid that beat the crap out of me. My first time boxing, I beat the dog crap out of him. So it was, and I loved it. I see Ali and Joe Frazier, their first fight. You saw these two black guys everywhere on every cover, and that's what really grabbed my interest. I said, I want to be like these guys and we'll do what they do.
Wonderful, wonderful. So I'm gonna ask Lincoln. You got to make up, man. What drawed you to boxing, and how'd you get your son involved?
Be honest,
Uh,
Canada has a lot of racism when I was growing up here, so it was our father who put us into martial arts and then boxing, mainly to defend ourselves. And then as I had kids, I have six. Pages, the second oldest. I put them in it to defend themselves, and he fell in love with it. So I do have a boxing gym here. It's been around for 80 years. So
okay,
it's out of our Royal Canadian Legion. It was established in 1946. Actually, one of the first Olympians from Canada is out of our club.
right.
Um, and all my kids boxed. Paige was the one that just fell in love with the sport.
Wow. We had him for a minute. I guess we lost him.
Yeah, I think he's moving in.
Oh, okay. Cool, cool, cool. So, Dave, so tell me this. So, after you got into boxing and you had to learn the proper techniques and you had your first taste of revenge and success in boxing,
Yeah,
how was your second fight? How did that go?
and we actually, early on as an amateur fighter, I did wonderfully, man, because I didn't lose. I didn't start counting my amateur fights until I lost my first fight. Never like 5 years later, I had about 90 fights. So once I
Oh,
had my first loss, that's when I started really keeping track of my amateur record. And I had, from what I count, I had 216 fights. I lost nine, and it was just from the second fight on, it was a wonderful thing because I didn't lose for like the first 5 or 6 years.
man, that is an accomplished. That's a lot of fighting. I grew up fighting my cousins. My mom had 52 nieces and nephews, and it was
I
never
understand
fair
that. I
because I'm the only
understand that.
one's only kid. So it was usually
Yeah.
2-on-1, 3-on-1s, 4-on-1s. So whenever I got into it with someone else, man, it was no problem. I got used to getting beat up on by my older cousins. And then on the weekends, my dad would go recruit them and take them to KFC and tell me, y'all go clean up the neighborhood. So then it'd be us
Mm.
against the whole neighborhood. But then Monday through Friday, I'm like that goldfish in the shark tank.
Oof.
It was
Yeah,
crazy
brother.
growing up. So, Paige, how you doing, brother? Can you hear us? Your mic is off.
Yeah, I'm good now. I'm good.
Okay. So we was asking the famous question: what got you interested in boxing?
What got me interested in boxing? Honestly, my dad just put us all into boxing when we were young. Me, my older brother, and my younger
You gotta
brother
speak
too.
up, Paige. You're talking too soft.
Can you guys not hear me?
Real low. It's real low.
Hold up. What about now? Is it
It's,
better?
it's better.
Yeah, my dad just put us into boxing when we were real young, so we just grew up in the gym basically. That's what really got us and got me into it. My dad.
Okay. Did you like it at first? Was it punishment? It was like a reward? I mean, how did you feel about it?
I liked it. It was good. Well, at first it was just because my older brother did it, I wanted to do it, and then he was getting everyone was showing him attention, so I was like, yo, I want the attention too. You know what I mean? So it made me want to work harder. But like I started really getting into it after I quit. I used to play hockey and basketball, so after I quit hockey and basketball, I went really hard after that.
Okay. So be honest, man, being the little brother and trying to get the attention and finding something that you like, who challenged you first? You challenged Big Brother, or you had to come in and show him you had the hands.
Yeah,
I
to
know,
be
I know,
honest,
slap boxing turned to the gloves when Dad was looking.
my older brother didn't even really want to box. Like he was just good, so everyone just like, oh yo, you need to box. They just want to work with him all the time, you know. But like he didn't want to box, and me, I was like when I would go to the gym, I would want to be there. He didn't really want to be there, so I was like, yo, why they want to show this guy attention? This guy doesn't even want to be here, you know. So that's what it was.
Wow. Okay. So Dave, tell me this. How do you look at boxing now compared to when you first started as a youth?
It's different now. A lot of these cats they go on social media and call each other out. That's how these fights are made nowadays. They talk a lot of trash, and they don't earn their position, their ranking to deserve that title shot. A lot of these cats just do people. Let's see, like Jay Paul. I'm not mad at Jay Paul. He's making money. He's keeping boxing relevant. He's not a real boxer, but I give him credit. At least he's keeping boxing news, keeping me boxing the news because he's having these fights. A lot of these champions don't fight each other today. They're not fighting each other, but they talk a lot of trash on social media about I want to fight this guy, I want to fight that guy. Fight the guy that's right behind you. Fight him. He's next. Give him a shot. Give him he deserves a shot. Give it to him. They don't want to fight the best fighters. The best don't want to fight the best anymore. They just want the money. And if the money comes from somebody that can't really fight but has a good name, that's what they'll fight.
Yeah, that is a trip. How it seemed like social media changed a lot of things and a lot of industry, especially since the way people integrate to social media since COVID.
Yeah.
When COVID kicked in, social media was like king, all the new content, fresh, and it seemed like everybody just drew to it to that stayed away from it or that was allergic to it got immune to social media.
Yeah.
So, Paige, what do you think about boxing now that you're a veteran, got a couple wins and belts around your waist, and put on your shoulder and brag to Dad getting you started in it? What do you think about the sport and the industry?
Honestly, boxing is a joke thing now. I don't even know. It's a circus, man. It's just a circus. It's turned into WWE, you know? So that's basically my thoughts on it. It's just WWE now. But like, I don't know. It's kind of changing because of the Saudi Arabia stuff. So I don't know. Real boxing might come back in a couple years because
Well,
these Saudis got money, you know?
let me say this. Here's one of the problem with boxing. The promoters today aren't like they used to be. Like when Don King was doing his thing and Bob Arum, they had to compete against each other, and so they went out and they hustled. They got the venue, they got the money, they got the TV, they got radio, they got Don's got everybody's money. But these promoters today, they rely on TV. There's not much in America. There's not CBS is done, ABC is done, NBC with boxing. TBS, all these shows they're done. The only thing that's left is ESPN, and they're just about finished with Bob Arum. So today's promoters they don't have the hustle, the drive to go and get this money from these TV television stations or the revenue from like casinos. They just depend on the casinos that are still around to come and give them the money. It doesn't work like that. You got to go out there and hustle and get it, and then they don't hustle to get the big fights that are out there.
Yeah, yeah. John said it best.
So that's a big void in the industry. I used to be the American Boxing Federation marketing manager, and I learned uh, coming in how the different belts represent different statute, like different classes within the organization, and
Right?
also learned the challenges and the politics behind it very
Yeah.
heavily. But one thing about boxing, though, like you said, if you're hungry, no matter what it is, there's a lane and avenue that you can take to make some things happen. And one of the things that we want to do, John, with you guys' assistance, is come in with the magazine and hopefully 6 months later follow up with um, Get Connected TV and have a lane for boxing, have another outlet because there's a big void there. We're planning on bringing a television network through the internet
Okay.
next year, and that is one of the aspects of it for sports. We would love to get more boxing in. We're going to start off with the magazine to build the relations and foundations, and then we'll have the channel and avenue with the social media marketing. We did with radio, we're doing it with TV next and the magazine. So one thing we know over here is marketing, and as we get the talent and people involved, and we can exploit in a positive way to get their message, their views, and their talents out there.
You
So
know,
we would love to help you with that problem.
it's interesting that you bring that up because after Clarissa's fight this past weekend, I went to a friend of mine and I said, introduce me to the people from the zone because a lot of the commentators today they don't even know half the stuff about boxing. They're illiterate to the game of boxing. They don't read up on the history of boxing. And I had an audition years ago for HBO. They said, John, you got one problem. You're too honest. Because I said, this guy's a bum. I just told the truth. I said, this guy's a bum. You know. And they said you can't be that honest. Why not? The public should know he was a bum. And so they said we can't give you the job because you're just too honest right now. So I said, okay, I'll cut back a little bit, but I'm not going to cut back to the point where I lie to the fans. They need to know exactly what's going on in the sport.
Right.
A lot of these guys that are commentators, they as soon as they get in, they find out they become yes men. They find out who we got to be. We got to back, and who we can't talk bad about. No, I'm not gonna dog you out, but I'm gonna tell the truth about you. And if it's bad, you feel it's bad. That's on you. Get your game together.
What
So
do you think
hopefully,
about? What do you think instead of boxers calling themselves out on social media, they became the promoters, more of the promoters, and set their own fights up with managers and hooked up with a platform like we're about to start, and then that'll bring a whole new revenue. Do you think that'll help the sports, or it'll be more negativity to the sports?
if they can help the fighters fight the best, it's a
Yeah.
great thing. If you can there's two middlemen that need to be cut out. Honestly, it's a lot of
Okay.
these promoters and the sanctioning bodies because they could care less about the fighters. All they want is that money they generate from the title defenses. But as far as boxers, they don't care about the fighters at all. They really don't.
But the
Uh,
sanctioned bodies are keep it on the belt, so that's be
yeah.
something that have to be dealt with unless we get
Well,
new sanctioned bodies in there. You
not
know.
really. I tell you why. Because take for instance, take Ryan Garcia. We know he got problems, he got trouble, but he has 20 million followers. He can get his own thing, do his own thing. He doesn't need sanctioning bodies for that. They need him. See, what the fighters don't realize is we're the ones that are in control, but we let these guys control us. We don't. They need us. We don't need them because they're not putting butts in the seats at all.
Right.
Who cares about the WBC, WBI, WBO? What are they doing for us? Nothing. They're not promoting us. They're not putting money in our pockets. We're putting money in their pockets because they get a sanctioning fee for every time we fight. We're they're giving us their blessings. Blessings for what? You ain't helping me get there. What do I need you to be there? If I'm popular, I don't even need a belt. Ali and Frazier could have fought with no sanctioning body, no anything. They would have made a ton of money.
You're
But
right, because he's a YouTuber guy. He's out there and he's don't have no else anything, and he's getting the bag and making them. You're right. You got a good thing there.
yeah,
Paige, let me ask you a question, bro. How do you feel to be on the cover of our first issue of Square Circle magazine? And when can we get some information and some coverage of you in the gym and the workouts and the preparation? Did he freeze?
I think his connection dropped. He's trying to come back in.
Yeah, we had to ask him that question again. But John, how do you feel about us selecting your guy on the cover of Square Circle magazine, and what kind of information give us, like how you preparing for fights?
well, no, to select him, that's a wonderful thing. That's great for him and great for his
So
career,
do
and
you
lets people
guys?
know that he's out there. And it's an honor. I think he's coming back.
Paige, you there? I guess
Mhm.
he's connection.
Yeah.
Well, John, no disgrace or disrespect. We gave the box the front cover, and we giving you the back cover, and both of you guys can have the center issue
Yeah.
of it, because you got
Um,
to begin and you have an end to every story, and you can't begin and end the magazine no better than with a great coach and trainer and with a great fighter.
yeah.
So, out of respect, we doing that. I don't want you to take this the wrong way
No,
about
no.
it.
Listen, I appreciate with just being on that. My thing is like this. It's like with my fighter, Clarissa Shield. They said, John, how come you don't try to get in the front and get all the pictures with her? I said, I did my job. I said, she's the one that got the victory. But I said, I did my job in preparation. That's all they need. I ain't got to be trying to be on the cover and be the face of boxing with her. I had my time. I was two-time world champion. I enjoyed my time. It's her time now. I'm the type of cat that I lay in the background. If I get notoriety, no problem. If I don't, listen, I did my job. I'm okay with myself, so I don't worry about that. And so now it's Paige's time. Let him be up front. He deserves that. I want him to get that. All the accolades he can get, and get it, get it.
I heard a lot about the other fighter, Carissa, and I kept hearing his name. Oh, this girl is tough. This girl is tough. And when it comes to women fighters, even Layla Ali, I watched a couple of fights and stuff. But when I watch Carissa train and the videos and just the guts to challenge anybody, male, female, don't care, put them on, get in the ring. I mean, gender has nothing to do with it. That lady has a lot of heart, dude, and I enjoy watching her
Yeah.
train or even fight. I mean, she goes in with one mission to walk out okay and as a winner, and she puts it all in the ring, and it shows.
Yeah.
I mean, what is it like training somebody with that mindset, or how do you get them to that point?
Well, it's refreshing to have someone that is willing to listen to you. When we got together, here's my thing with all fighters. When a fighter comes to me, I let them know right away, I'm not here to change anything that you do. Whatever your style is that you like, let's work off of that. Because if you're not comfortable in the ring, then we got problems, especially you when that bell rings. So any fight I get, I want you to keep your style. Now, I'm just gonna watch you box for like 3 or 4 rounds. Then I'll understand your style. Then we'll work off that. I just want to make you better at your craft. If there's anything that I show you that you don't like, let me know up front, and we'll discard it right away. Because if you're not a happy fighter, then you got a problem when that bell ring, not me. So
And
you
that's a
know,
great that's a great way of putting it down, John. I mean, it is what it is.
yeah,
Boxing is a team preparation, but at the end of the day, it's an individual sport because the only person getting hit and doing the hitting is the fighter.
that's it. When that bell ring, there's 2 people there. There's 3 of you in the ring, but there's you. The referee, he wears a black and white shirt, so you know who he is. You
Right.
know, yeah. So I try to give my fighters a lot of leeway. To do your thing. Give me respect. Now listen, if you want to get nasty, we can get nasty. I can get nasty. I try not to be that way. But if I can't get the respect that I deserve, you will hear from me. But other than that, I try to let a fighter be himself, grow. Because here's the truth about boxing. There's only so much a trainer can teach a fighter.
Okay.
The real good fighters, what they do is they learn from other fighters. You steal their moves. You watch what they do, and you steal some of those moves. When I was growing up as an amateur fighter, in 1979, I went to the Junior National Olympics. I seen a kid named Floyd Favors. I never seen a fighter do what he did in the ring. He did see. I mean, he kept his hands down. He was slipping, bobbing, and weaving. He'd make you miss. And I said, man, look at this cat right here fight. And he was back. I was 132 pounds back then. He was like 100. He was like 90-pound fighter. I'm just saying, this cat is phenomenal. So as I got older, I kept watching. I started watching other fighters and said, let me check these cats out and see what they do. So what you do, you would steal some of their moves and try to implement it into your game plan. And that's what a good fighter does. He learns from other fighters. Still, you must still listen. It's not a patent on it. It's still their moves. You can do what you want to do. Make it work for yourself. And that's what a smart fighter does. He learns from his trainer. But there's only so much a trainer can teach a fighter. But after the trainer knows a lot more than most trainers, he can teach you more. But most fighters are going to learn from watching other fighters. You steal their moves, and you incorporate it into your game, and you make it work for yourself.
Good point. Good point. So, how important is dieting, and do you work with people to come in with your fighters and get them on a regimen, or you have your
Well, dieting is really important. I'm glad you asked that question. Here's a problem with most fighters. They get these cats that they get nutritionists, they get a strength and conditioning coach, they get a guy that runs with them. Listen, when I'm coming up, you better get your butt outside and run by yourself. You better watch what you're eating. It was all we do a lot of things on our own. We didn't have all
right.
these guys, that they get paid this money to hang around. No, listen, get your butt up and run. Push the plate away, man, and make sure or eat something sensible that helps you lose weight in a nice manner. These guys they gotta have 4 and 5 different coaches. Well, guess what? When that paycheck comes and you gotta split that money up, you ain't getting all the money you thought you get. They want a piece of that. They want a piece of that money.
Right.
But if you're disciplined, let's think about it. There was a fighter named Marvin Hagler. He
Uh-huh.
made the middleweight. He stayed in the middleweight division all his career. He made the weight, and then a couple years later, same thing with Bernard Hopkins. He did the same thing. They stayed at one weight and they kept it there. They were disciplined enough to realize don't go 10 pounds over your weight. So, I learned that from Marvin. I tried as a junior middleweight. The most I would come in walking the streets was 164 because it was 10 pounds from the limit of 154. And then when I moved up to middleweight, It gave me 6 more pounds, so I would walk around at 170 at the heaviest. So I was only 10 pounds over the middleweight limit. See, but most fighters don't realize that there's ways of making this easy for yourself without having to hire a bunch of people to do it for you. So if you have discipline, it makes it easy. To do that.
Okay. Look, we got Paige back. Paige, how you doing, bro?
I'm good. I'm good.
Went
Internet's
outside.
not being good to us today, my friend. So I have a question I have to ask you. How does it feel being selected as the first guy, the first issue on the first cover of Square Circle magazine? And when can we get some tips from you on how to work out and what you do to prepare and what gets you ready for your fights?
Well, it's an honor, first of all, and what I do to get ready for my fights, to be honest, I kind of stay ready, but like when the actual fight is set, like 4 weeks or 8 to 4 weeks out, then I have a camp where I lock in, and like I'll just cut myself off from the world and just lock in, just train, sleep, come back home, work with my coach, study boxing, just live, sleep, eat boxing.
Now, is it a curse or a blessing that you're one of the tallest fighters in your weight divisions, man? And how do you use that, and what do you do to combat it if you think is a curse? I mean, how do you use your height in your skill in your tactics of coming out, as a
It's
victor?
definitely a blessing because it's definitely a blessing because it's easy for me. It's a lot easier, because I fight shorter guys, so they have they have a tough time getting in, and I just get to sit back and just jab and just stay long. It's nice. I mean, the only a bad part about it is like being a longer fighter, you gotta work like your legs a lot, because you need strong legs, strong core. But like besides that, being a long fighter is, I'm assuming everyone in boxing wishes they had long reach and height. No one wants to fight a taller fighter. That shit's just annoying.
Well, you got to keep that speed in there too, bro.
But
The
but
long
from a
part.
business perspective, and John can attest to that, it's a curse.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'll
yes,
give
it
you
is.
example. Last week and this week, I get 5 offers, but nobody wants to fight at 115. They want us to come up to 122, one and higher because they're looking, saying, "Well, he's 5'11". I'm like, "Well, he's not 122 pounds." So getting an offer for his weight has been a big problem for us.
So, what's your take on that, John?
Lincoln's right. It's a blessing and it's a curse for Paige. I mean, it's a blessing for him because at his height and at that weight, he has a lot of advantages. The curse is a lot of cats that just don't want to fight him because they ain't got the heart to step in the ring with him. It's tough because they look at him as big as tall as he is. They know it's a disadvantage, but most of the guys don't have a heart today to step in the ring and say, listen, let me prove that theory wrong. And it's a curse for him because it's hard for him to get fights. I can imagine how many guys turn him down because once they see if they get a little bit of film on him, that's gonna hurt also because he can fight and he has major advantages over guys in his weight. It's not his It's not his fault. God bless him with that. That's not his fault. What happened? This is we'll work around there. He'll get he's gonna get there. It's just gonna take a little bit of time.
Well, we're gonna have to explore them a little bit more and let people know the real champion, what the weight is, and unfortunately, the height comes with it. And they better come quick and come ready, or there'll be another notch on the belt.
Most definitely. Most definitely.
So, Paige, tell me this. So now that you have a couple belts on your shoulder and you come through victorious, what do you see yourself within the next year? Any other divisions, any other moving in weight, or you want to stay where you are? I mean, what do you see the next step at?
Um. Yeah, well, I don't know if I can disclose my plans. You know what I'm saying? But like, then I'm definitely gonna stay at 115 until I win a belt. Like, I want every belt at every weight until I can max out. Whatever it is. But I'm definitely gonna stay at my weight until I get an actual, like, I want like a WBC, WBA,
like IBF, one of those belts, and then when I get one of those at 115, then I'll move up. So in the next like year, I'll probably see myself like at least coming close to a title shot. Definitely, like I should be close. Or like a contender. It all depends, man.
Now,
Boxing is a lot of politics.
now, following you on social media, bro, you're an active person. I'm gonna leave it like that. How do you keep your diet and discipline intact? Being out there in the public like that, bro.
Honestly, I eat a big breakfast, and
Uh-huh.
then I usually eat dinner. I only eat like two big meals, and then I just drink lots and lots and lots of water. So like in the morning, I wake up early. I train early, so then I just eat a big breakfast after that, and then I won't. Maybe I'll snack, snack my way throughout the day until my second workout, and then after my second workout, I'm chilling. Then my third workout, after my second workout, I don't eat because then I'm like hungry. Then like when I go to my third session, I'm like, I'm boxing, like I'm angry because I'm hungry. So then after when I'm done, I eat good. I reward myself like that.
Just to use the hunger as motivation to go ahead and get this out the way so I can do my thing. I don't blame you, bro. I mean, like I was telling your dad and your trainer earlier, John, I get up early in the morning because, so many things to do in a day. And then there's so many reasons why you can't do what you need to do. And there's only one reason why you do it because you really want to. And that discipline, is very important to success. And Mike Tyson said it best. He said, discipline is doing the stuff you hate like you love it.
Mhm.
So, we got to be dedicated to it and to succeed. That without no hard work, there's no great rewards. It don't come
Right.
that way. And man, I take that back. You might win the lottery. And that's a slight chance because there's so many people hoping. Only one a few lucky ones get it. But generally to get the rewards, we got to put in that work.
Yeah, I feel that.
So I got another question for you, John. With you training men and women, how do you switch the roles from male to female, or is it still the same? The boxes in the ring to get the mission accomplished. I mean, how do you change the style of coaching and pivot?
Well, honestly, I don't really change at all because once you're in the ring, you're a boxer, you're a fighter to me. I can't sit there and say, oh, she's a female, so I gotta be a little more less harsh on her. I gotta be nice. No, and I'm not. I'm kind of a quiet type trainer. I don't cuss and go off. And listen, I ain't got time for all that crap. I let you do your thing. Like I said, my thing is I want you to be comfortable in the ring. So whatever you do best, we're gonna work off of that. If I see some mistake where that I can correct, I'll do that. But I want you to be comfortable when you get in the ring. If you're not comfortable, we're all in trouble because you ain't gonna fight the way you want. If you need to fight, so my first thing is what do you want to do in the ring? Let's work off of that. A good trainer and a good teacher can work off many different styles. It's just not one style. But the problem with most trainers are they only know one way, their way. So whichever way they fight, that's what they try to teach their fighters. It's like Tyson. Tyson was a great fighter, but the custom model peekaboo style doesn't work for everybody. Most guys trying to do that style get their brains beat out. Because it's a face first kind of type style. So my thing is, I see what you do, and then we work off of that. I want you to be comfortable, and if you're not comfortable, then you got major problems. When the bell rings, I ain't got no problem. I'm going down the steps. I'm gonna relax. You got major problems. So I want you to be comfortable. And like Paige, Paige is primarily he has a hell of a style. He's a great boxer, but he has power, and I want him to just generate all that and put it together for himself. And it's coming because he can do some damage. And but on the flip side, the only problem is most fighters see him, they don't want to deal with him. It's like you talking all this trash, how great you are, but when they say fight this kid Page, no, either. And I'm not saying it's the fighter. It might be the manager, it might be the trainer, it might be the promoter, but somebody in your camp's not letting you fight this kid, and that hurts him because a lot of guys just they don't want to fight him because they don't want to. Now you got to prove yourself. How good are you? This young kid, he's hungry, and he wants to fight. Fight him. No. So there's always an excuse for that. Oh, he's not promoted by us. He's not signed by us. We can't use him. But all those pitfalls he'll soon get around because the more he wins, the more he's up, he elevates himself. They gotta meet him eventually.
So Paige, they look at you like Ice Cube. You the kid they love to hate. But you got to prove them wrong, man, in the ring and keep doing your thing, bro. We want to see you shine, brother. We want to see you shine.
For sure, for sure. Soon, man. Inshallah, soon.
So let me ask you this, Paige. Knowing what you know now in the middle of your career, getting it started and everything as professional, what would you give advice? What advice you give to a young kid that want to get in boxing? Someone starting out fresh.
Someone's starting out. That's gonna be a long journey, It doesn't come quick, And if it does come quick, then if it comes quick, then you gotta learn how to hold it and maintain it, Because I know a lot of people that got success quick, but then because it came so quick, they weren't able to deal with it. So then they fell off. But most people when they join boxing, they think it's gonna be like they're gonna become champ in like 2 years, 3 years. Doesn't work like that. It's a long road. With any sport, it's a long road. You just gotta stay dedicated, and never quit. That's what I would say. Just never quit. Like never quit. Never stop believing in yourself. Cause if you want to make it, you gotta be the one to believe in yourself. Like no one's gonna believe in you. You have to make other people. You have to get other people to believe in you. Like you gotta be so confident in yourself that other people believe in you. And like even if you don't, you just prove them wrong. So that's first and foremost. Just believe in yourself and never quit.
Yeah, your coach was telling us earlier, as great as a coach he is, he can only do so much outside the ring. It's two boxes in the ring at the end of the day with the man or the woman with the striped shirt. So you guys got to really be mentally, physically, and prepared for that. You got to have your game plan and your workout. It's kind of like any sport. You get in the game, and the game should be easy. The preparation is hard. The practice is hard. You practice weeks and weeks and days and hours, and actually event is only for so many minutes. It's shortened
Yeah.
down. So if you put the work in the beginning, man, the outcome should be fairly easy.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying theoretically, I've yet to get in the ring. I walked around the ring, but I've yet to get inside the ring. So I'm just going from my perspective in preparation for any sport. Now you play soccer, and you said you box. What made you stop soccer? Do you still play soccer?
No, I used to play hockey and
I mean, hockey.
and basketball. But I just stopped those sports because I wanted to be a professional athlete. Like I always knew since young. So, but I stopped those sports because like I realized like as a kid, like I wanted to be a professional athlete, so I had to put stuff in perspective and be realistic. Like basketball just wasn't realistic. I was too small. I live in Canada. It's just not gonna work. In hockey, too much politics. There was just way too much politics going on, and then boxing's just one. Yo, I always say this: you just gotta knock the person out. You knock everybody out, then what? Like, that's all it is. You just knock someone out. You're a champ. Okay, so it's like pretty much that's what made me like want to be do it even more because it was like you don't rely on anybody. It's just yourself. Like you don't have to rely on anybody. You just can do it yourself, and they can't say anything. Like even if they hate you, you win. You just knock them out. Like they can't say anything.
That's a true test of a titan right there in the ring. Like I said, it's you and the other person. So, John, I got another question for you. Seeing that boxing has changed over the years, different fighters, different styles, social media made a big play in it. We also talked about the limited access to boxing with ABC and other networks falling out to the side and things of that nature. What do you think that can rejuvenate boxing and draw more fans in and make it more open? Seem like boxing is like a very closed niche club. Either you in or you not out. How can we open it up to get more people into it and
Honestly,
bring some excitement back to it?
people that love boxing with money. Like the Saudis, they love boxing. and they got money, so they put on whatever fight you want to see. They make it happen. They make any fight happen. I'm sure they don't even probably make any of the money back because they're paying these guys hundreds of millions of dollars just to see the fight happen. That's what needs to happen. They just need to keep doing that, and then because no fighter is gonna be like, yo, you want to fight this guy for 50 million? No fighter is gonna be like, no. Every fighter is gonna accept it. Even if he doesn't want to fight the guy, he wants that 50 million. You know, he wants the payday.
I'll fight somebody for 50 million.
Yeah.
You don't think that's going to kill the sport, John? Because everybody
No.
is not going to get that 50 million opportunity and offer. That's coming with them lottery tickets.
Well,
Even
it
not
is that.
50 million, they're paying like hundreds of dollars. They pay good money. They pay everyone good money.
The money is not really the problem because with inflation, everything rises. So I mean, the money's crazy now that these guys are getting paid like the football players and soccer players. But here's the thing with it: if these guys, the payday is good, but they have to be willing to fight each other. The best need to fight the best. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter what kind of money you're making, but if the best aren't willing to fight the best, then you got a problem. It's like Canelo. Good. Listen, here he's earned his stripes. But now he won't fight Benavidez. Why? Because he's a dangerous fighter, but you should be able to prove that you're the best. When Ali fought, that one thing I love about Ali, he fought everybody. He fought everybody. It didn't matter who it was. There were no excuses. He wanted to prove he was the best fighter. So whoever came along with the name, and when he fought Foreman, Foreman was 10 years younger. He didn't care. He still wanted to prove he was the best fighter. So in today's fighters don't want to do that. They want the money. And see, here's what else hurt boxing. There was a black promoter back in the early 2000s that came along, Al Heyman. And listen, don't get me wrong, good dude. He did one great thing for boxing. He raised the pay scale. That's the one great thing he did. But the way he hurt boxing was he told every fighter you're only gonna fight twice a year. A good fighter needs to hone his skills, at least fight 4 or 5 times a year. You gotta stay sharp. You gotta stay active. But he gave them 2 fights a year, and he would give them like $2 million per fight, $4 million. These cats got lazy and greedy. All they wanted was a 2 fight per deal per year, and they got that money. But they didn't say, "Hey, man, give me more fights." They didn't demand more fights from him because the public, in order to be a good fighter, you got to stay in the public's eye. So if you fight twice a year, you're not really in the public. You fight. That's 6 months in between each fight. Don't nobody care about you for those 6 months. So a good fighter has to be active. You got to be willing to defend your title at least 4 to 5 times per year and make some money. But if I can make $2 million per fight, then how come I can't make $10 million a year but with 5 fights? Be greedy. That's what you're there for. You got to get up where you can because you only got a certain window of time in boxing, in any sport, really.
Right.
So why not get all you can where you can? But these guys, they're lazy and they say, we'll take that 2 fight per year deal, making maybe 2 or 4 million, and they're happy with that. Well, why should I could be happy making 8 million if I fight 4 times a year. Get greedy, and make the money, but give the people what they want, good fights. But these guys don't care about that now. So 2 fights per year at a certain amount of money, that's all they want. But you're hurting the sport doing that.
I remember Mike was younger. He used to fight seemed like every 3 months.
Yeah, no,
He
they
was
kept him.
fighting
Yeah,
seriously.
you're right. It was every 3 months they kept him active. Didn't matter who he fought because he was a good name. But today's fighters, these promoters, they put this limitation on you. So, but most fighters won't speak up. That fighters don't realize we are the ones that really carry this sport. Show me how many how many fans would go pay and put their butts in seats to watch the promoter promote. None. The fighters are the ones that put the butts in the seats. So, but they're too afraid to open their mouths and tell these promoters, to go to hell if you're not gonna take care of me and get out of my face. They think the promoters are the one that's in charge. No, the fighter's in charge. They got to realize that. Because without the fighter, you have no fans.
It would be wonderful if the fighters could promote and market themselves, rent the arena, and
They
speak
can
first.
if they realize a fighter can get. Listen, Clarissa Shields and I talk. She ain't got her own promotion. I said, listen, get your own promotional company. Do your own thing. You're the best out there and you're hot right now. I said, go get your own company. I said, you can promote other fighters, but promote yourself. That way, you can get all them wherever the money's generated from, wherever the revenue comes from. You get a piece of everything, not just the set purse they want to give you, but everything else that comes along with you. You get a piece of everything. I said, that's what you deserve to get. And I tell most fighters, learn this sport so one day you can be the boss of it, and you can get the money you want. You can say who you want to fight. If you want to fight the best, fight the best. You know.
That's a Rolling Stones technique. They say no promoter gonna never make a retirement on them. They want to know how many seats in the arena, what the ticket sales going to be like, and then they adjust their price based on that. So basically, if they don't book their own arena and promote it themselves, they make sure the promoter just promotes and he don't get to retire on it. I mean, or they don't do the
Yeah,
show. I mean,
right.
they know their value. The fighters, like you said, got to learn their values and sometimes put some skin in the game, and then it makes a difference. Like I looked at when Jay-Z did the thing with Live Nation. Yeah, they gave him $1 million a show, but you think about it. Most arenas that he did were NBA arenas, which sold
Mm.
out, which Live Nation made about 40, 50 million a show and gave him 1
Woo.
million.
Yeah,
Jay-Z's not broke. He could have did that himself
yeah, yeah.
and kept money. I mean, you the main act, you get on the radio station, you market and promote it, just put a little bread up and get all the rewards. It's not like nobody's not gonna come see you. You're the entertainment.
Here's what I tell most fighters that I talked about that when we talk. I said, I want you to think about we're going back way back to 1972 when Ali and Frazier had their first fight.
Uh-huh.
Ali and Joe both made 2.5 million. Everybody thought that was a lot of money.
And 72.
But
Whoa.
yeah, but if they would have promoters somehow gotten the promotions and promoters the show themselves, they at back then would have made about 60 million apiece in 72. The promoters made all that money. The guys that because the fighters didn't know, they didn't realize they can make that kind of money. So today's fighters, you're making probably 3 or 4 times more than that. Learn this game. Get you someone that you can trust that knows the business and helps you out, and you can be your own promoter. Listen, if a fighter is smart enough and willing to do that, but most fighters aren't willing, they're kind of afraid and not willing to do that. They think they need somebody to do it for them. Now you might need somebody to help you walk along, walk you through it and help you learn the game.
Right.
But in the end, you can be your own boss and get most, if not all, the money.
I agree. That's a very good concept. So, Paige, let me ask you the question. As a boxer, current boxer, when you're looking at um, choosing an opponent, what are some of the stuff you look at? You know, you look at how many wins and losses they have.
Nah, I'll fight
Um,
anybody. I'll fight anybody. Straight
I
up.
love you for that, bro.
I'll fight anybody, any day, anytime, anywhere, bro.
Now, the only way I'm getting in the ring with you, unless we both got a pillow, I'm not getting in the ring with no
Mm,
gloves.
mm.
I'm not. I've seen some of your tape footage, bro. Even though I weigh you, I'm not gonna do it. But that's a good concept, my man. I fight anybody within the weight range. You know, more fighters need to have that attitude and outlook, man. A lot of people say, well, if they don't have enough fights, or well, if the money right, it's an excuse and whatever. But that attitude, let's get in the ring, let's do it. You
Yeah,
know,
cause yo, I just wanna be the best fighter I can be. I wanna, like right now I'm good, but like yo, I need good fighters to fight so I can become the best fighter I'm able to become. I wanna be a crazy fighter. Like I think of this stuff. I watch a lot of anime, so like to me it's like Dragon Ball Z. Like I want to level up. I want to keep leveling up. I can't level up fighting bums and tomato cans. Like how am I gonna level up and become a 99 overall fighter if I'm just fighting tuna cans my whole career? Like I need to fight people that are just as good as me. I win, and then I level up some more, and then I just keep going. Like I just want to become a crazy fighter.
great attitude, great outlook. John, I see why it's so easy for you to coach this guy, man. His mentality is like, put me in the ring. A lot of people got, like I said, multiple excuses: the money, or don't the laziness, don't have the work ethic. It seems like this guy just want to be unleashed, and we just got to find some more opponents for
Yeah, well, that's the hard part, finding the opponent. But like he said, he's willing to fight the best. In time, in a short period of time, it'll be time for him to fight the best because he has to be able to prove himself to the world that he wants to be the best. But he has that skill and that ability. It's finding the right opponents for him to get a step in the ring with, for him to be able to prove that.
So, Paige, what being at your weight class, and I'm knowing that domestically, is very, the water's very shallow. How are you with fighting in other countries and fighters in other places? You have any challenges or admiration to go out of the states and fight more?
Yeah, well, right now I'm planning on going to South America, grab some fights there in Asia, Asia too, and then I want to come back to America. After I grab like I don't know a few fights out there, and both sides, so South America and Asia, and then I want to make my return in America.
Okay. So John, you got some work up for you, brother. Yo, you guys ready to hit the road?
If need be, if we had, to me, like he said, now Asia, that'd be the place to be because that's a lot of guys in his weight division. That's where they're from, and there's plentiful to go there and get those kind of fights. But they need to be meaningful fights for him because you don't want to fight anybody. Make it something that's worth his time and worth his while, and his pocketbook. So you
Yeah,
know.
you don't want to, like you say, you don't want to go fight anybody and sharpen their skills and diminish yours. You need the competitive fights.
Well, it's like he said, even though, also you don't want to fight a bunch of bums, as they call it. You don't want to fight bums because it does nothing. It gives him wins and it looks great on his resume, but it does nothing for him. It doesn't teach him anything. I'm not saying put him with King Kong right away, but he can fight and he can prove
Yeah.
that. But he just needs to fight, stiff opposition every now and then to showcase his talents. Because and from a fighter's point of view, when I step in the ring and I got somebody across the ring from me that can really fight, and then he's all that, so they say.
Uh-huh.
It pumps me. It makes me want to prove I'm the best fighter when I get in the ring with him, and that's how Paige is. So so every now and then you got to fight somebody that's a little bit dangerous. That's gonna make you want to prove how good you really are.
Yeah.
Paige, man, I look forward, man, to seeing some more of the workouts, seeing some more what you're going to do. We're going to put in this article for Square Circle Magazine and love to come to a fight, man. Hopefully, you get a fight scheduled soon so we can be there and highlight it and see you live in action, bro.
Yeah,
I'm
man,
a
we're
fan,
cooking
but
up. We're cooking up. A lot of fights coming soon.
oh,
A lot of
yeah.
fights coming soon.
Wonderful, wonderful. And John, are you taking on any new fighters, or how does someone want to get in contact with you or reach out to you? What do they do, or how do they
If
reach
they're
you?
gonna reach out to me. They can reach out to me through my Instagram
They
platform.
gotta come with the check,
John,
and then
that also that's
come
the
with
main
a
part.
check
That's the
and
main.
yo.
Hey, I'm glad you said it. That's the main thing right there.
So,
But
so Paige already got his second career going on, John. He's going to
there
be
you go.
agent.
Yeah. But they can reach out to me at John David Jackson 63 at Instagram. That's hit me up there. Or Action
Paige,
Jackson Boxing Academy, Instagram.
okay. And Paige, how can the people follow you up, bro, and
Yeah,
tune
man, they
in?
can follow me at Paige Suchit on all platforms: YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, whatever it is. Paige Suchit.
All right, and if they bold enough to challenge you to a fight, they can hit you up there too, or they need to get a hold of
Oh
John.
yeah, man, you can hit me in the DMs. I'll send it right to my manager. Get the contract written out.
All right, y'all. You hear my boy? Paige said you can get it. Just let him know you can
That's
get
right. That's right.
it. Well, I'd like to thank all of y'all for tuning in to Square Circle, Get Connected Radio, Cousin Chief. And I really appreciate you, Paige, Lincoln, and Dave. I mean, John, David. I really appreciate you guys giving us this morning to monopolize part of your day and sharing with us in the world. And I can't wait to get this written up and get this first magazine out, Auditorium, because this is going to be a very important piece of boxing I think is missing. I reached out to a lady I used to work with named Clara Burks, and I like her because she doesn't only just run the ABF now. She also care about just advocate, their rights and stuff like that, and
Mm.
making sure that they're mentally, physically, and financially being taken care of. And I think that is wonderful for somebody to advocate for the boxers in that capacity and not just want to be a leech and just do the merchandise or something else or train just to get the part of the purse, but she actually looking for their well-being. And I want her articles or morning or auditoricals in our articles in our magazine and our views because she has the box's best interest in mind. And there's a
Mm.
few more people, but she's definitely always, when I talk to Claire, have the box's best interest in mind. And her opinion and viewpoint, I think, is very valid. So we will highlight her views in our magazine. But thank you guys again for coming in and just keeping it 100 with us and just sharing um, your thoughts, views, and putting it the way it is. And this is what we like over here. We like to hear the real, the truth. And like my man said, I fight anybody. Give me a shot. I don't care. I want to be better. And like you said, John, you can do what you can do, but then you have to go down them stairs and watch from the outside. You know, you don't want to make them uncomfortable. You want to bring out the best that they have within them, but they got to bring the best of them into the ring. And I appreciate you exploiting that and putting that out there where we can all understand and in layman's terms and let people know, hey, if you got it, bring it. If you don't have it, stay home and watch on TV.
There you go. Well, I appreciate you having me on the show. It's wonderful, man. I truly appreciate you giving me the time to express my point of views. Thank you very much.
Thank you, John. And hopefully we can get some more of your fighters on here, man, and in the magazine. I really appreciate you, bro.
Definitely.
Thank you.
I need to get Clarissa on here for you because she'll talk, brother. She will.
Hey, we would love her whenever she went. Tell her I'm one of her biggest fans. Seriously, no BS. I'm one of her biggest fans. I can sit down and tell you countless posts of sparring that she put up there that I've watched. I'm one of her biggest fans.
So did you by chance catch your last fight this past weekend? Did you catch that?
Yeah. I remember we talked about it. I thought the first knockout was a slip, and then she went right back down like, there was no slip. And then she went down the third time like, this girl is the truth.
Yeah, she's dangerous, man. She is dangerous.
Yeah. Cool.
All right, guys, but thank you so much. And I'm gonna start going back over this and type all this up because it's not. We're gonna take bits and pieces and put it in a digital magazine, but the majority of this will be auditory, will be written up. So I'm not really tripping on the whole interview getting linked out because it's not only shorts. Because I'm saving most of this for the magazine to have to read it.
All right.
We'll do a little switch of clips.
And so, Paige, I'm back at Warriors Gym. I'm back at Warriors Gym tomorrow, brother. Come on down.
Oh yeah, but I'm coming back tomorrow, so I'll see you.
I'm there from 10 to 2. So come on in. All right, brother.
All right, you guys. Y'all take it easy. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. Don't party too much, Paige. I told Paige, don't party too much.
Yes, sir. All right, man.
All right, thank you. Thanks again, Dave.
Thanks. All right.
John.
All right. Bye-bye. Can I turn this on?